What is up, peeps? Coach Kev from the Porch. Quick update for you guys on the Delphi trial, the morning session. Opening arguments were made. Let me backtrack a second. Before opening arguments were made, the judge said no sketches. So the state filed a motion, the defense counter filed a motion or filed a response to the motion, but the sketches will not be used. And as best I could tell, that's not crazy uncommon because that's like an investigative tool. I'm sure you could find cases where sketches were used, though. But in this case, there won't be any. So they made their opening statements. Nick McClellan started off saying, basically, and I'm not in the courtroom, so I'm depending on what other people said from news stations and people that I know. Basically said that we could prove he's bridge guy, we could prove this, and that. Baldwin gets up as we expected, the more cinematic of the two, a little more flair, a little more chutzpah, as we say around here. Then Rosie, not knocking Rosie at all, because he's the dresser. He could dress better than anybody on either legal team, if I could just throw that out there, in my opinion. And he said, no, it's not Richard Allen. One of the things that he said that was interesting was he believes the girls were taken and brought back early Tuesday morning. So they were taken away from the scene and brought back. Now, is he pivoting from Odinism? Maybe, but they're not allowed to argue the Odinism thing. So maybe this was the new angle that they came up with. You know how I feel about the girls ever leaving the scene. I don't think that they ever did. And I think that there's scientific proof and forensic proof of that. But that's the way that they're going now. And we also found out that Becky testified for a little over an hour, giving background on that day, what happened, the girls went. And probably one of the more heartbreaking moments of the whole trial that's going to be early in the first day is her coming to the realization that the girls were deceased and how that happened. They told her they found the girls, and she said she couldn't understand. I'm paraphrasing. She couldn't understand why she wasn't being taken to the girls. And then she saw the coroner van. And when she saw the coroner van, she knew what that meant. So a very heartbreaking moment, but a very strong, courageous Becky Patty, as she's always been, battling cancer, tragedies. She always seems to come out and keep going on. And I don't know if I could. So she's certainly stronger than me. And but basically, the big surprise to me, there was no bombshells from either side, according to witnesses this morning. It was kind of what it was. We're going to prove he did it. We're going to prove he didn't do it, type of thing. And the apparent pivot to the defense, where they're going to go swing now. The girls were taken away from here, which I don't think it was forensically. I'm not going to say it's forensically impossible, but it's forensically very improbable that happened. You look at the scene, we know that there was pools of blood at the scene for Major Cicero. And remember, when the heart stops beating, it quits pushing blood out of your body. The only thing then that will push blood out of your body is gravity. So in order for a big pull to happen, it's hard to understand how that would be, how there would be no blood trails or anything like that. But the defense is going to try to prove that. So that's what the court's for. A couple, I'm not exactly sure who they were, but they were legitimate news outlets. They were told not to film a certain area. That's where the judge comes in. That's where Richard Allen comes in. And that is where the jurors come in. And they filmed it. So Judge Gall took the camera. So I don't think it's like we're Russia in the 1950s here. She did that for everyone, herself, Richard Allen, and for the jurors. And they, went over there and did that. So she says, fuck you. Give me your camera. Give me your shit. I could legally take it. And they did. It's sad that it has to get to this, but the things that have happened around this case, you wanted to keep the sanctity of that courthouse, was basically what she said. So, follow the rules, do what needs to be done. And heavy appreciation to all the people that traveled up there, people that I know personally, Turbo, Aspen, Jinx. There's a lot of people, Marv. They're going to be able to come back and do a lot better with information than I can. But I do wanted to keep you updated. I'll try to jump back on if I can once I hear some things from people, just to give you the kind of the highlights of day one. They were expecting that the next witness would talk about the crime scene. McClellan says it was a especially gruesome crime scene. They're going to show you pictures, which also, that it lends you to believe that they weren't taken from there. But we'll see what everybody has. We'll see when they put their cards on the table. But no bombshells yet. I'm kind of surprised at that. No plea or anything like that. Richard Allen's there in a suit, being very cooperative. He said a small prayer beforehand. The news media said they don't remember him doing that before. there's nothing wrong with that. That could be a thing that he was told to do, or if he really did find Jesus, maybe he is. I don't know. If he did do that, though, I don't know why he would still be, fighting this case if it was actually him that did it. So, but I'll leave it to you. Trial tomorrow, I believe it's going to run from noon to 3. Or sorry, from 9 to noon, 3 hours. I don't think it's going to be full days, as best that I can tell. But we will see what the afternoon session brings us, and we will see what tomorrow brings us. But just to recap, Baldwin says the girls were taken. McClellan says no, we could prove it. Baldwin says we could prove he didn't do it. And Becky Patty for an hour stood tall as she always stands on that stand and explained what happened. I don't know about the cross-examination or anything like that or any more details of that, but she was the witness up there first. And, all of our love and compassion goes to the families, and hopefully they get through this time. But when I got more, I'll be back. Coach Kev out.